everybody. This video is going to be a basically overview of our trip that we just went on to Walt Disney World. If you haven't watched my vlogs, there's about 12 vlogs that we took while we were on our trip. It was our first time vlogging our trip, so we definitely learned a lot. Definitely we'll know better and do better next time when we go on our next trip. And if you haven't watched those, just to let you know, we have a almost 6-year-old son and an almost 3-year-old daughter that went with us along on this trip, along with my mother and my father, who are DVC members. So we were able to stay at one of the DVC resorts, which was Beach Club Villas, and we had a 2-bedroom suite, which was so nice and so big. But that's not what we normally do. If we were to go without them, we would end up staying at a value resort or possibly a moderate resort. But you know, we are definitely spoiled when we go with my parents because we get the nice deluxe resort with the beautiful pool and everything. But normally we'd stay at a value, and you know, we like them too. It's just, you know, not quite as fancy and there's not quite as much room. All right, so for this trip, we started planning this trip about in the summertime. And, you know, originally we were thinking about going in the fall, but, you know, it's so hot in the fall, and it's hot in the spring too, but, you know, I thought rather than taking my son out of school at the very beginning of his first grade year, I would much rather take him out towards the end of his kindergarten year. So, and then the added bonus of that, my daughter isn't quite 3 yet, so we did not have to buy a ticket for her. And we did not have to pay for the meal plan for her, and buffets, Cinderella's Royal Table, all those things she could eat off our plates, or at a buffet get her own plate. So that saved us quite a bit of money just by going just a hair shy of her turning 3. She actually will turn 3 in about a month on June 24th. So we snuck in one more trip before she turned 3. This was my son's 3rd trip. He went when he was 2 years old. And he went when he was 4, and now at almost 6, this is his 3rd trip. And this was my daughter's 2nd trip. She went out 15 months and now at almost 3. So they were both very excited. We started counting down about 2 weeks beforehand. And we decided to have my mother-in-law, which is the other grandma. We're very, very blessed that we have very involved grandparents. It's so nice to have the support. Drive us to the airport. We all kind of squeezed into her car, and my husband actually drove her car because she can fit, she's very tiny, can fit between the booster and the car seat, and be mostly comfortable, while either of us probably wouldn't be very comfortable doing so. So that's how we started off our trip. We left around 10 o'clock in the morning. We got in the car and drove to the airport, pretty uneventful. Kids were excited. I did get some footage from that, but it turned out blurry. I was just starting to learn how to use the camera. Then got to the airport, got through check-in, security, easy peasy. We live in the Northeast, and the airport that we go to really is not very big, and it's very easy, and I haven't really had any problems with security or checking in there. So that was easy. Waited for our flight. Kids were excited. And the flight pretty much was easy. Both kids were really good. The only glitch was that for some reason my headphone jack on my iPad didn't work, so the kids couldn't really listen to the movies that I had downloaded. But I had enough packed in their backpacks and things to occupy their time, so they were good. They didn't have any issues. My son's ears were bothering him a little bit towards the end, but luckily, you know, it wasn't too bad. He just said they felt funny. So after that, we got to the airport. You know, we've done Magical Express before. We did it again this trip, so we knew where we were going. And the nice thing about Magical Express is you put luggage tags on your luggage, and when you drop them off at the airport, on your flight down, you don't have to see them again. So we don't have to go to baggage claim. Our luggage ended up in our room a couple hours later. So that is something that when you have 2 little kids and you have, you know, all these luggage, and it was just me and my husband on the flight down. My parents came a little later, and anytime we didn't have to deal with our luggage was really nice. I definitely would recommend that. I mean, you do have to wait sometimes for Magical Express, but I don't know how people do it with, like, we only had 2 bags of luggage, but with our carry-on, my daughter, and everything else. So we went right to Magical Express, checked in with our magic bands. You do need your magic bands on when you check into Magical Express. My daughter, when she was 15 months old, actually, didn't have hers on, and I had to dig hers out of my carry-on. So you do need them on. We checked right in, waited for about less than 5 minutes, got on a bus, and luckily the bus was almost full. So I was happy because I knew that meant we'd be leaving pretty quickly. So yeah, about 10 minutes later we left, and we were at Beach Club, so that is the 3rd stop. At least that day it was the 3rd stop, and we have it stopped at some other places before that, and Caribbean Beach was one. But it really wasn't too bad. The ride itself was about 40 minutes, plus I'd say we had maybe 20 minutes of stopping, letting people off, stopping, letting people off. And we got off the bus, and we were able to go right to our room. I checked my Disney experience. We had our room number right on there. And since we did online check-in, we didn't have to go to the check-in desk. Now, some people are worried, you know, is my ticket on my band? It should be on your band. But I have heard of people going to the park and not being allowed in because their ticket wasn't linked to their band. If you're going at rope drop and you're like, really want to get to the rides quickly, you know, you can always go into check-in desk anytime that check-in day and just have them check, make sure your tickets are on your band. But we didn't do that. I wasn't really worried about it. So that day, we were able to go right to our room and to our 2-bedroom villa over in Beach Club Villas. And the room was very nice. They had been refurbished since the last time we had been there, and I liked them before, but they're even better now. They're so nice. Like, they have like hardwood floors, or I don't know if they're real hardwood, but they look like hardwood floors, and nice countertops, and the beds are nice and big and comfy. One bedroom has 2 queens, which is where me and my family slept, and then the other one has 1 king bed and a bathroom, and then each bedroom has a bathroom. In the master, there's a tub and a shower, and then a separate room for the toilet. And in ours, there was a tub, a shower in one room, and then the vanity outside there, which was very nice. So they have 2 bathrooms in the 2-bedroom suites at Beach Club Villas, and all of them have 2 queen beds now, which is really nice because previously some of them had a pull-out couch, and some of the other villas at different resorts have that as well. Sorry if you could hear my dog, he's outside. And if he was in here, he'd be barking. He's out there, he's barking. So we did a little tour in a vlog. If you want to go back, our first vlog has a tour of the villa, my son did. So after that, we kind of dropped off our stuff. Our luggage wasn't there yet. I would say it was about 6:30, 7 o'clock. We decided, hit the ground running. Let's go to Epcot. And the Beach Club Villas, it's like a 5-minute walk to Epcot. It's so nice. It's one of the benefits. One of my favorite things about that resort is you can just walk right to Epcot and you're right in the World Showcase next to all the good food and everything. So we walked over there, and we had fast passes for Test Track, like a late fast pass. I made them like the last hour of the park was open because I wasn't sure how long it was going to take us to get there, and I know my son really wanted to go on Test Track. So he had been on it our previous trip, and it was one of his favorites. So what we did was we went in, we ate at the American Pavilion. I'm going to do a separate video on the restaurant reviews and food that we ate, but we ate at the American Pavilion, it was good. And then we went to through Norway, and we decided, hey, let's try to meet Anna and Elsa for Aria because, she wasn't going to be able to go on Test Track, and we weren't really going to do anything else that night. So we thought we'd try to do that for her, and it was about I would say 15-minute wait. The waits for Anna and Elsa generally, if you hit it right, is really not that bad. So I went in there, waited for Anna and Elsa, and you could see in the vlog, she was so excited to meet them, and Anna did a dance with them, and Elsa just gave them hugs, and they were so excited. She didn't want to leave Elsa. She wanted to stay and hang out. And so that was our first character that she got to meet. And then after that, we went over to Test Track, and my son and I rode Test Track, and then we got a switch pass so that my son and my husband could ride, but it was towards the end of the night. So we just got the switch pass, and the plan was to use it the next day when we were back at Epcot, and that worked out great. I went on it with him, we got our picture, and it was funny because in the vlog, a little boy got sat next to us on the single rider line. He was just old enough to ride single rider, which I think is 7. And so he went on it with us. And it was funny because my son had a lot of fun with him, like enjoying the ride and talking about how many times they'd been on it and everything else. So after that, we just took, and I would say the weather this day was cool. Like, it was cool, it was nice. It was, my daughter had leggings on and I didn't change her before we went to the park. Like, it was nice and cool, and it wasn't that way the rest of the week, so it was really nice just to be at Disney World and not be sweaty and yucky, and because usually we do go in the fall, it's really hot. So it was nice to not be so hot. And then the sun went down, and on our way back to our resort, we caught Illuminations fireworks going off, and which was really pretty, and we got to see Aria's reaction to the fireworks, which she was scared, but we told her that they're loud, but they're pretty, they're not scary, and so she was okay. We walked back to resort, and we said hi to my parents who had gotten in by that time, and then went to bed. And our first night was pretty successful. It took a long time to get Aria to go to sleep. She is not an easy baby traveler, but she did end up falling asleep with me in bed, and yeah, that was the end of our first day.